and welcome to Good Morning Niner Empire. I hope that you guys are all having a wonderful morning. So this is our new for Niner Fifth Radio. This is our morning news recap show. So before I go into everything, since it is very light week because we didn't have our normal training camp this week and stuff like that, and it is like kind of the time before like when the team comes back in July, like we're gonna be like full steam. We're gonna get ready for preseason and then regular season. So this is like our downtime. So before we get into all of that, please subscribe to us on our Twitch channel, which is where you're watching the live stream right now. We're at 905 Radio on Twitch. We have moved to Twitch this last month. It's been awesome. Please use your if you have Amazon Prime, connect it to your Twitch account. You'll get a free sub. You can use it on us, um, and we'd be happy to like have you give us a chance and stuff. But yeah, it is free. It doesn't cost you any money. But if you want to use your money to subscribe, because it does normally cost money, we'd love for you guys to do that. It helps support the show, helps us keep running, and helps us pay all our internet stuff and all that fun jazz. Um, we are still on YouTube. We're at 95th Radio on YouTube. We are still posting stuff over there. That is awesome. We are keeping up over there, so please go subscribe over there. Keep up with that. We are posting some stuff over there, so that is still going. Um, please check out the website 905radio.com. It's in that little ticker down at the bottom. We are doing we have some awesome articles coming up and stuff like that. So yeah, we have that. We do have our shop. We do have some new we do have a pre-sale coming up, I think at the end of July. Let me see if I can find the here it is. So this is the link to the shop, 905radio.com/shop. Um, so get ready, go check out those pre-sales. We have some awesome new merch coming out that is really sick. So please go check that out. And we are still on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram at 905radio.com. And we are also on Twitter at 905R. So, yep, that is that. That's all the housekeeping. So, yeah, thank you guys for joining us. I'm going to run the intro video real quick, and then I'll come back and we'll start talking about the news.
They are at the 44-yard line of the Chargers. Taylor out to the left side. And Ricky Waters to the right. And a play fake. Young goes deep. And all he's got Jerry Rice. Touchdown 49ers. First touchdown of the game. Comes after only a minute and 24 seconds. 44 yards. Touchdown pass to Rice. He sets another record. How can they leave Jerry on something like that? Rice split them both. They're in a two-deep zone. And he got behind both safeties.
You are now tuned in to the Morning Niner Empire, exclusively streamed at
Faithful
All right. So our first bit of news we're going to go over is the NFL has updated its protocol. So this is from NFL.com. So this is for COVID-19. So this is going to be coming up for the upcoming training camp and preseason when the teams come back during that time. So here we go. With mandatory mini camps coming to a close around the NFL, the league and the NFL Players Association have come to agreement for the COVID-19 protocols for training camp and preseason games. NFL Network's Tom Placerio reported Wednesday via an NFL memo. Foremost among protocols is how different the preseason will be for players and individuals who are vaccinated and who are not fully vaccinated. For those fully vaccinated, there will be no daily testing, whereas those who are not fully vaccinated must be tested every day. It will be the same for face coverings, with none required if fully vaccinated and mandatory and mandated at club facility and team travel if not. The NFL and NFLPA have agreed to updated COVID-19 protocols for the 2021 training camp and preseason per source. How different will life be for vaccinated and unvaccinated players from the memo that just went to clubs? So for a fully, can you guys even see that? Okay, so for testing, there'll be no daily testing for fully vaccinated. No daily testing required. Masks are not required at club facility or during team travel. No physical distancing required in club facility with other vaccinated individuals. No quarantine required after high risk exposure to COVID. No travel restrictions. No capacity limits in weight rooms when all fully vaccinated. May eat in cafeteria or with other fully vaccinated individuals. No restriction on social media marketing sponsorship opportunities. May use the sauna, steam room. May interact with vaccinated family friends during team travel. Non fully vaccinated people. Testing required every day. Masks required at club facility and during travel. Must remain physically distant club facility from others in club facility. Must quarantine after high risk exposure to COVID. Travel restrictions in effect. 15-player limit in weight room. Players must be physically distanced in the meal room. May not eat with teammates. Staff must grab and go. No meals in the cafeteria. No social media marketing sponsorships activities permitted. May not use the steam room. May not have hotel. May not leave team hotel to eat in restaurants. May not interact with anyone outside of team traveling party during the travel. So, big difference. Sounds like if you're not vaccinated, the same stuff is in effect like last season. If you are vaccinated, it seems like life is going to be going back to normal. Um, so we got that. Um, Individuals who are not fully vaccinated, including players, will be prohibited from gathering outside club facilities to team travel. NFL players who are not fully vaccinated will be barred from going to nightclubs, bars, hotel parties, concerts, etc. Failure to follow these protocols could result in fines of 50,000 for a first offense. One difference that Placerio notes that could have major competitive implications is that fully vaccinated individuals who have been exposed to a coronavirus positive person will not be labeled a high risk close contact, so they will not be subject to a mandatory 5-day isolation. Um, Coaches and staff members who are not fully vaccinated and do not have a religious or medical exemptions will not be eligible for Tier 1 or T1 or T2 status in training camp and will therefore not be allowed to work in person with players. Strength and conditioning coaches, for instance, must be fully vaccinated to be in weight room with players. If it's an indoor weight room, players who are not fully vaccinated must work out with their mask on. For coaches who are fully vaccinated, there will no longer be face coverings required, which was a hallmark of the 2020 season, such as Chiefs head coach Andy Reid's face shield or other coaches being fined for not always wearing theirs. Um, for all unvaccinated individuals during travel, gathering with outside guests in hotel rooms, seeing family and friends, etc., is prohibited. There will also be significant changes for members of the media and fans. Fully vaccinated media members will be allowed to conduct in person interviews, which was prohibited during the 2020 season. In contrast, media members who are not fully vaccinated are disallowed from access to press box, field sidelines, and locker rooms. Though fans will not be allowed to interact with players, they are allowed to attend training camps. They must remain more than 20 feet from Tier 1 staff, including players, and adhere to physical distancing. The full memo can be found in this link. So, basically, it's encouraging players to get vaccinated. They want as many people to get vaccinated so that way they can keep uh, going as normal. I think that's good. Um, yeah, I mean this is a big thing. And it sounds like if you're not vaccinated, it's going to be the same as last year. Like all the restrictions, not being able to leave hotel rooms. If you get contacted with, like, if you're like in contact with somebody who has COVID, you have to do the 5-day isolation or whatever it is, and stuff like that. So I think it's hopefully encouraging people to get vaccinated. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I know. I, I don't know. We'll just see. But I mean, we'll just kind of have to see what ends up happening, and stuff. So, second bit of news. I'm going to read this off my phone, from 49ers Twitter. NFL, this is from the legit San Francisco 49ers Twitter. NFL suspends 49ers D line Jordan Willis 6 games. Willis has been suspended without pay for the first 6 games of the 2021 regular season for violating the NFL policy of on performance enhancing substances. He will be able to participate in all off-season and preseason practices and games. So, uh, Jordan Willis, who I believe we picked up last season, near the end of the year, uh, has been suspended because he violated the performance enhancing rule, and stuff. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much that. He'll be able. I don't know. I'm a little bit confused because it says he'll be able to participate in off season and preseason, but I'm guessing that's not going to mean regular season. I mean he wasn't gonna. I don't think he was gonna be a starter anyway. Um, and stuff. So he's probably just gonna like. This is really gonna hurt his chances of making the team though, because I feel like if he can't play those 6 games, that's a lot to hold somebody for that amount of time, um, and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if he wouldn't be able to like go. Like he's probably gonna get cut. Honestly, I know that's what one of uh uh 95 Radio's Jason said that that's what he thinks is gonna happen. He's gonna get cut, which I kind of agree with now. I don't see him sticking around, especially like he was really being a depth piece and a rotational player. So I feel like they'll try to fill that spot somewhere else. So that is that one. Um, and then we have a couple more things. We have this. So, okay, this is the PFF. This is okay. So this is the NFL's best offensive play callers ahead of the 2021 season. So this is from PFF. Um, this is their rankings. It goes to like a couple of players, I guess. So with the 2021 NFL draft and free agency now well in the rearview mirror, OTAs and minicamps are giving us some much needed clips of our favorite players in action in preparation for the 2021 season. PFF has ranked the numerous position groups, posted simulation results for the campaign, and discussed enticing bets on the PFF Daily Betting Podcast and PFF Forecast. We've been fairly buttoned up about our coaching rankings, which we cited a number of times in other content pieces and used it in our PFF Greenline and fantasy products. But the method is pretty straightforward. Using PFF grades and play-by-play data, we handicap how a team should have performed on each play using expected points added. When we then looked at how the team actually performed on that play, weighing such outcomes as by how they often happen and how noisy set plays are. Thus, a coach who is repeatedly getting better play out of his players on first and second downs will be rate highly, while a coach with bad red zone variance will most likely be forgiven by metrics like this. After listening to top head coaches headline into the 2021 season, we now present the 6 offensive play callers with the highest rankings. And then they have a link to last year's. So number 1, interestingly enough, is Matt LaFleur. People will forever associate the fourth down play caller in NFC Championship game with LaFleur, and while that dings him as a head coach, He gets high marks in terms of maximizing team talent on a play by play basis. A calendar year ago, we were talking about why the Jordan Love pick made some sense, given Rodgers' decline at the time. Now we're at a point where he both earned and received the NFL MVP award. The Packers were the most efficient team in terms of turning cap dollars into wins above replacement in the passing game in 2020. And they did so without so much in the way of uh, in the productivity from secondary wide receivers. Um, so that's that. Brian the Ball, Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen's emergence was one of the most fun storylines of the 2020 season, with the Bills generating the second most points in football despite playing their home games in cold weather and a division with good defense in Miami and New England. Stephon Diggs went from a really good wide receiver to a player who led the league in receiving yards, while mid-round ECF prospect Gabriel Davis added 7 touchdowns from his wide receiver 4 spot. The ball should be on the short list for head coaching positions next offseason if the Bills continue ascending in the crowded AFC. Andy Reid is next. Reid is the only head coach in NFL history to host 3 straight conference title games with 2 different teams, and he has gone over his market in uh, with market win total in each season as the Chiefs head coach. As the Chiefs head coach, the Super Bowl the only game in which the Kansas City has lost by multiple scores in the Patrick Mahomes era, stood out like a sore thumb in the sense that it was the first time in a while where that an opponent stunned Reid's offense in back-to-back halves, but it served as a prelude to what this team's Achilles heel should they not hit a third option in the passing game moving forward. Um, we got John Gruden. This one is tough to explain since Gruden is very much part of the grocery shopping for a team that has brought home rotten vegetables and expired canned goods in both the draft and free agency. Be that as it may, Gruden is still a pretty good chef of these ingredients, as evidenced by the fact that the Raiders ranked 10th in the NFL in yards per play offensively, despite having the league's 17th ranked pass blocking unit, 26th ranked running blocking unit, and 18th ranked running game by PFF grades. Derek Carr has performed really well the past 2 years, and the Raiders are 15 and 17, despite building one of the league's worst defenses during that stretch. So we got that. Joe Bradley, Carolina Panthers. After blowtorching the SEC in 2019 with the LSU Tigers, Brady headed to Carolina and was the highest performing offensive play caller in this metric over the first half of the 2020 season. Despite fading in the second half of the campaign, Teddy Bridgewater averaged 7.6 yards per pass attempt, 12, while earning just a 66.4 PFF passing grade, 24th, which which lead back Christian McCaffrey sidelined. Brady helped Mike Davis manage a 75.1 overall grade and generate over 1,000 yards from scrimmage despite Davis' notoriously low pedigree. And our last one, the former Jaguars first round pick. This is from Brian Leftwich for Tampa Bay. The former Jaguars first round pick returned to Florida and helped acclimate a new Albert Hall of Fame quarterback, a veteran tight end, a rookie right tackle, and a couple of secondary receivers en route to the Bucks' first Super Bowl title since 2002. That the offense overcame injuries to Mike Davis, Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, and the interior of the offensive line at times, and improved as the season progressed. Landed Leftwich in this spot. The team earned the second most wins above replacement per dollar in the passing game among NFL teams in 2020. So those are the people on the list. They went to, I guess, 6. They did 6. Where's Kyle? That's my question. I don't understand why Kyle's not on this list. I know there's probably some reasons for it, but like to me, Kyle, like where like Kyle's not on here, Sean McVay's not on here. Like there's a couple of guys not on here that I'm a little bit surprised. I don't know if they would have gone to 10 that they would be on here. I think Kyle should be on here. He should be like maybe 4. I don't know why John Gruden's on here. That's what's the confusing thing is why is John Gruden on this list? I don't understand why John Gruden is on here. I feel Kyle should be in that spot. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's weird because Kyle's plays are good. You see them work when they execute. He comes up with good ideas, but it's like, oh man, it is so weird. I don't understand why Kyle is not on this list. I really think he should be here. I think he should be on there instead of John Gruden. I know Kyle has not had the greatest season since he's been here, except for the 2019 season when we almost won the Super Bowl. Um, but Kyle's a good coach. Like Kyle's a good play caller. That's what he's known for. He's one of the top offensive minds in the NFL, and he's nowhere on this list. Like Andy Reid being on this list, yes. Matt LaFleur, okay, because he wasn't. He's very familiar with Kyle's system. They run very similar systems. Um, who else is on this list? The Bills, the Buffalo Bills, Brian, yes, because he made like the Bills' offense was no joke. Um, Joe Brady, I don't know. I didn't really watch a lot of Carolina Panthers games, so I really don't know. But it sounds like he did good with Teddy Bridgewater. So, and I do know that I think I did have Mike Davis on my fantasy team last year, and I know he did really well. Um, so that's that. So that makes sense. Tampa Bay, Brian, this Brian, okay. I mean, that's true. They went to Super Bowl. Um, Makes sense. But why the hell is John Gruden here? I don't understand. I don't like did Derek Carr do that well that like that they got on this list? Like did they perform like did Derek Carr like do that well in this system? I don't know. I didn't watch enough Raiders games to know. So, yeah. That's my thoughts on that really. Um yeah, it's weird. Um but I feel like Kyle should be where John Gruden is. I mean, I really think Andy Reid should be number 1 cuz he's really good too. Um but what are you going to do? Um yeah. So, that is pretty much that for that part. It is very strange that um I still can't get over Gruden being on this list. It's so weird. Um Yeah, I don't know. No offense, but like John Gruden was never known for being like an offensive genius, was he? Like running an offense really well. Like I don't know much about it to be honest. So, um, yeah. Um, but that is pretty much that. So we're gonna take a quick, quick ad break, real quick, and then we'll come back and I have another article to go over with you guys and to show you guys. Um, and then we will be right back. Okay, so we are now back from the ad break. I'm going to show you guys one more article. Screen share. All right. So now we got ranking the NFL's best head coaches ahead of this season. So Andy Reid, obviously on here. Um, with the 2021 NFL Draft and free agency now well in the rearview mirror, OTAs and minicamps are giving us some much needed clips of our favorite players in action. Preparation for this upcoming season. PFF has ranked the numerous position groups. Okay, we already kind of read. Uh, so this is very similar to the part I literally just read in the play calling, but this is literally going to be about coaches. So, number one, Andy Reid, Kansas City. Prior to Super Bowl 54 in 2019, I wrote about how Andy Reid was the best head coach in football. Since then, he went to win his first title, navigated a pandemic offseason, helped his team go to a 14-2 record during the 2020 regular season, won a playoff game with his backup quarterback playing the second half, and reached a third Super Bowl of his career. Andy Reid's Chiefs have never gone under their market season win total, and they are again the Super Bowl favorites going into the 2021 regular season. Reid is now the standard by which the rest of the league is evaluated. Now he was thoroughly outwitted in Tampa Bay by Todd Bowles in Super Bowl 55 last season, as the debts associated with playing much of the season with a banged up offensive line and failing to develop a third option behind Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill came due. But that loss represented the first time the Chiefs fell by multiple scores since 2017, and the first time they failed to score a touchdown since 2014. Long Reid as a coach who struggled in the 2 and 4 minute offenses, the one who was better at winning blowouts than close games. Reid propelled his Chiefs to a 9-1 record in one-score games in 2020, including winning the last 7 games of the regular season by one score, not counting Week 17's game of backups. With a rebuilt offensive line and I don't know how to say his last name, Vaccaro back to run the offense, the defense. Look for the Chiefs to flirt with the 12.5 wins they are projected to receive by the market this fall. So that's Andy Reid. I will give them that. That makes sense to me. I mean, Andy Reid is a hell of a coach. So he knows what he's doing and he has really talented players, so it makes like him being a top makes a lot of sense. John Hardball. Hardball is the second most tenured coach at NFL, and he will forever have a place in the list like these after getting a team quarterback by Joe Flacco across the finish line in 2012. What is most impressive about Harbaugh is how much he's adapted to the needs of the NFL starting at 2021. Whether it's by building defenses from back to front, adapting his team to suit the needs of a once in a generation talent at the quarterback position, or listening to the math on fourth down decision making, he went for it 64% of the time when he should have in 2020, among the league's highest rates. Harbaugh is one of the best coaches in the league currently and has a Hall of Fame case to make. Um, I mean, it's interesting. Harbaugh, like I didn't realize that until I read this, but yeah, he has been with Baltimore for a long time now. Um, so I mean that's great, and he is a very good coach. I mean, he wouldn't still be there if he wasn't. And now that they have Lamar Jackson, like he has a lot of talent that he can work with. I don't know if I would have put him at number two, because I feel like a lot of the offense is on his offensive coordinator, because I feel like he's more probably defensive minded, um, and stuff. Um, I didn't realize he went for it as much on fourth down as he did, um, and whatnot. So um, yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of crazy. I don't know if I would have put him number two, but I can see a case being made for him being on this list. Um, because especially since he's gotten Baltimore to the playoffs the last couple of times, and whatnot, and I really do think that they're on the verge of something. Um, Number three, Matt Lafleur. In 2019, Lafleur evaluated what was fundamentally a 9 or 10 win team to 13-3 with Aaron Rodgers playing below his normal standards. In 2020, he got the Packers to a legitimate 13-3 record and Rodgers to the MVP podium. He enters 2021 as the league's highest rated play caller on our metrics, and despite his decision at the end of the 2020 NFC Championship game, he's been mostly good at the edge cases, going for it on fourth down 75% of the time. He should have in 2020. Good for second in the NFL. LaFleur reminds some of the former and 49ers and Panthers head coach George Seifert, although without the early Super Bowl title. But when the Hall of Fame quarterback and Rodgers eventually leaves, what will his team record look like? Yeah. So, um, Lafleur, I don't know. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm so sorry. My Okay. So I'm so sorry about that, guys. I kept getting a phone call. Um, so Matt Lafleur, I don't know if where I put him in this list. I mean, he got gifted Aaron Rodgers. Like, what are you gonna do? Um, he, I don't know. It's so confusing. I don't know if he would be number three. I'm not saying he's a bad coach. I'm sure he's a good coach. They've kind of messed up how they've been dealing with Rodgers though, because now Rodgers kind of wants to leave, and it'll be very interesting to see what happens after like Rodgers like ends up going and stuff and whatnot. Um, let's see. Yeah, I mean it's weird that he's on right here, but he is very young. Um, I I mean, overall, I think his decision making has been. I mean, he has made them win. I mean, I will give him that. Um, and stuff. Sean McDermott. That's all I'm gonna say about him right now. Sean McDermott, Buffalo Bills. I wrote about McDermott when the Bills extended him last year, and everything I said then is true now. Buffalo won in 2019 despite poor quality play from Josh Allen, in large part because the team got great value out of its defense and hid some of the young signal callers' deficiencies by pushing some of the easy buttons and making less expected value decisions. That changed in 2020 when Allen became one of the league's best passers, as all of the work put into extracting additional edges were experimental by great quarterback play. One negative on the Bills' ledger in 2020 was that they were conservative on fourth down, going for an advantageous situations just 36% of the time, which ranked near the bottom of the league. However, this is more than made up for their run to pass ratio and overall approach to the running game on both sides of the ball. Buffalo has is like very like I always forget how good they've become over the last couple years, especially now with Josh Allen, with Stephon Diggs, now with their very solid defense. Like they're they're a really good team. And I think that the coach Sean McDermott has done an excellent job with them. Um, really like turning it all around, going through everything, and stuff, and whatnot. But like Yeah. Honestly would have put them third because of just the complete turnaround that he has been able to do with this team once he got some really good players and the being able having the patience to develop Allen, work through everything with him as a rookie, get everything going. And stuff, then having Allen come out the next year and just like light everything on fire. And get them almost to get him into the playoffs again. Um, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, and I admire that a lot. Honestly, I think they're definitely um, like I would honestly maybe like switch him and Matt Lafleur honestly, because I feel like Baltimore's turnaround is a lot more impressive than Green Bay, but that's just me. Um, so moving on to number 5, New Orleans Saints, Sean Payton. It flies under the radar how impressive it was for Payton to take the 2020 New Orleans Saints to another 12-4 season. For one, Drew Brees missed significant time again, and the Saints went 3-1. In his stead, they were 8-2 in games Brees missed due to injury and the Brees Payton era. Additionally, Brees was mostly cooked in 2020 with an average depth target equal to 6.6 yards, surpassing only Jimmy Garoppolo and Alex Smith. Furthermore, with Jared Cook and Emmanuel Sanders disappointing and Michael Thomas hurt, Peyton helped the running back Alvin Kamara having surplus value over replacement, um, second only to Derrick Henry in football. This is a rarity and will likely have to occur again, amongst other things, for the Saints to go over their win total of 9 this season, which is only that high because of Peyton's history of turning water into wine down by the bayou. Um, so the Saints have been really solid for years now since they've really had Drew Brees. I do believe Drew Brees did retire, so that's going to be definitely very interesting. I I I could see I get his spot on this list because I do think being consistent, having a good record year in year out, having a shot at the playoffs makes you really good. So I'm actually really cool with his spot on the list. Next spot, Bill Belichick. Obviously, I'll admit that there is some legacy built in here, as Belichick has lagged behind them for the past decade in terms of making correct decisions on fourth down, with the 2020 Patriots going for it only on just 39% of ambitionable situations. That ranked 24th in football, and the team surrendered zero point 0.5 expected points in the process. That said, last year's team earned just the 21st most wins above replacement in the NFL, but still managed to win 7 games in a division where the Bills and the Dolphins reached double-digit victories. It remains to be seen if they can win with Cam Newton or Mac Jones moving forward, but if somebody can, it's likely Belichick. Um, I mean, like he said at the beginning, legacy Bill in here. Makes sense to have Bill Belichick on here. I mean, Bill Belichick is a good coach. I mean, I know Tom Brady's really good, um, but like him and back in the day, him and uh, Brady were just good. Um, hey Jason, I just got a comment. Jason, can you hear me? Please tell me I haven't been doing this on like very low volume. Uh, If any of you guys are listening, can you comments let me know that you can hear me? I know I've been going for a while, but and it shows my mic is working. So, well, thanks for popping on though, Jason. I know you're at work, so I appreciate it. Um, okay, then we got our next one, which is an interesting one. Kevin Stefanski. After the Vikings inexplicably let Stefanski leave the building following the 2019 playoffs, I wrote that he was the offensive mind the team needed, despite a really noisy 2020 season in which Cleveland's number one wide receiver was lost for the season due to injury. Three straight games were played in inclement weather, and a late season contest against the Jets was played with no wide receivers active. The Browns won 12 total games for the first time since Bill Belichick was their head coach. Stefanski went for it on a league high of 81% of admissionable fourth downs in the first three quarters of close games, including playoffs. But the fourth down he didn't go for in the playoffs against the Chiefs will likely haunt him for some time. Nonetheless, things are looking up in Cleveland. Um, so this is interesting. I don't know how I feel about him being on. I mean, it's great that he got the Browns to a playoffs game since they haven't been in such a long time. Um, I really, uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would have put him on. I mean, it's impressive, because nobody's been able to get the Browns to the playoffs in such a long time. So I do think that is a lot to it, and stuff. So yeah, I just feel it's a little weird that Kyle's not on this list, but I feel like I'm more upset that he's not on the play calling list than he is on this list, honestly. Um, because I really feel like there has been some talk that Kyle should just be like a play caller, not be a head coach. Have somebody else run the stuff, but have him run the offense. I get that because I do think that is Kyle's sweet spot. And I think that he can't, I feel like he doesn't have enough time to do all the stuff that he wants to do. Um, Sometimes because he has head coaching duties now. So, um, and I do think the players really like him. We've heard lots of positive things about the players liking Kyle. I would honestly put him number 7, honestly, and maybe put them 8 if it went more. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. Um, Kyle, yeah, I'm more upset that he's not on the play calling list. Honestly, he should be. Um, it sucks, but it's so weird. Like I know we had a really bad season, but we had to have some good plays, you know. Like there's like that drive that CJ did in the Philadelphia game. He got us down the field, and we were able to take a shot in the end zone. I know that. Um, I don't know. It just is weird. Um, yeah, I'd put Kyle 7. I definitely think he's probably not the best head coach ever, but I don't know. I mean, I think he's good. I like that he's younger. I think the players like that he's a little bit younger. They relate more, and like all the players like him from what I can tell. Um, and honestly, I think he's done a good job dealing with all the stuff that he's had to deal with over the years. You know, he's dealt with so much crap, all the injuries, all the trades, like letting Bowman deciding to let Bowman go like Navarro Bowman, like those are big deals, like big decisions, and a lot of them for the most part have turned out okay. Like they've obviously missed him, and John have missed on some stuff, but like I think he's done a great job of keeping the team together, keeping them engaged, like and stuff, and like not letting everything go crazy at the end of the see, like when in 2017 when Kyle took over, that six like he held the team together enough that when Jimmy got on the field and took over, they went on a 5-game win streak. Like that doesn't normally happen. Like he kept them as a unit, and I think that's something that's a little bit underrated. Um and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky thing, guys. I'd have Kyle 7, honestly, because I do think Kyle's good. I would have Kyle like in the top 3 at play calling though. Like I think that's ridiculous. He's not at least on one of these lists, and I really think he should be on that because like Matt LaFleur is literally a part of his offense. He literally had somebody go to the Jets to be their offensive coordinator. Like Kyle's done good, and Kyle's going to continue to do good throughout this whole season. You know, um, and we've seen what Kyle can do when his team stays freaking healthy, like they did in 2019. He went to the freaking Super Bowl, and they won playoff games, and he can win in multiple different ways. And now that we have Trey Lance, and Trey Lance has a better arm than Jimmy, like like he's gonna be able to open up more stuff, possibly. He's gonna be able to do the play action more, though I think Jimmy's actually decent at play action. Like if you watch that Green Bay in 2019 game, that primetime game where we like destroyed them, Jimmy was nailing the play actions. He hit like a huge throw to George Kittle for a touchdown. Like hit Debo on a freaking like I think it was a slant, and Debo went up and scored. Like Kyle's good. Kyle's plays work. He just needs his players to execute, and his players, unfortunately, it feels like have had such a hard time staying healthy. And I don't know if we're just going to be one of those teams now that just struggle with that sometimes. And I think that's why, personally, I'm happy keeping Jimmy on the roster for right now because God knows what's going to happen. And we don't want to rely on backups anymore because we know Jimmy G can at least play well enough to win games. He won enough games to get us to the playoffs, and he did his thing in the playoffs, even though he didn't have to do much. He still ran the team and ran the offense and did well enough where we got to the Super Bowl. And he played well enough in 3 quarters of that Super Bowl. And if the offensive line held up in that fourth quarter and gave Jimmy just a slight bit more time, maybe we'd be having a whole different conversation about Jimmy. Because if Jimmy G hits that throw, got enough time, and if Jimmy G hadn't gotten hurt, because I swear to God that I think it was Chris Jones at the end of that Super Bowl nailed Jimmy at one point. I remember seeing somebody. I'd have to go dig it up, see if I can find it. Somebody says that they think Jimmy was concussed in that fourth quarter because he got hit by one of the Chiefs D line, for sure. I wouldn't be surprised because if Jimmy got hurt, he's like, hell no, I'm not coming out. I'm playing. This is a Super Bowl. We're this close. Um, yeah, but if Jimmy G nails that throw at the end, we're having a whole different conversation. But we also might not have Trey Lance, which means we also might not be set up for the future. That's what's so great about this whole freaking thing. Now, I don't understand why people are pitting them against each other. Is we have the best of both worlds right now. So I guess we have a veteran player who we know can play well enough to win us games to get us to the playoffs. That's what we need. And then we got a young guy who we just drafted that has so much freaking talent and so much talent and fits and seems like he'll fit this offense extremely well that we have set up for the future. And we don't have to rush him out there. He can take his time looking at the playbook. He can get back into throwing because he hasn't played football in a while. He can make sure he's healthy. He can just get used to being in the NFL. Like all that stuff is huge. It's huge, huge, huge. So I don't understand why people are like getting so angry about it. Because I really don't think it's like I think we're in a good spot now. I like that we traded up for Trey, and I like that we still have Jimmy. And honestly, like I hope that this pushes Jimmy because I really think it will. Because if you watch Jimmy's presser or listen to it, he sounds way more focused, way more determined. I feel like Trey coming in has really pushed him a little bit. So I'm pretty excited for it. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't get putting them against each other. I think it's great that we have both right now. So yeah, I mean that's my opinion right now. Um, Yeah, I mean, head coach, I think Kyle should be on this list. I'm not so mad about the head coach. I'm more upset about him not being on the play call because like that's what he's known for. Um, but he has had some spectacular losses. We're not going to talk about the Atlanta Super Bowl, um, and stuff. So, uh, yeah, um, yeah. I mean that is pretty much all I really want to talk about. There's not really been that much news coming out because we were supposed to have another mini camp this week, but that has been canceled. So there's not really any pressers. There's not really a lot of news coming on. I haven't seen anything pop up this morning, um, or whatnot. Um, if any of you are on the see has seen anything that I haven't touched on that maybe I haven't checked this morning because I just haven't had a chance to look, let me know. If you can comment, let me know if there's anything I missed talking about, um, and whatnot. Um, But yeah, I mean, just bear with us. It's gonna be a little bit of a dead season, so we're gonna probably be like rambling on and stuff about stuff that you probably don't want to hear about right now, but it's all we can really talk about at the moment, um, and whatnot. So yeah, um, but yeah, I'm gonna take a quick ad break, and then we will come back and we will continue on. We'll finish. We'll wrap things up here when I come back. All right. Well, welcome back, guys. So it's gonna be a quick wrap up. Thank you guys for joining me this week. Um, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys sticking with me and stuff. Ignore my cat in the background who just jumped on the bed. Um, we are having an awesome time here on Twitch. We've been loving doing Twitch right now. It's been great for us. Yeah. So quick wrap up. Please feel free follow us on Twitch. We have all of our shows remain exclusively live streamed here on Twitch. Um, it's been awesome. We have shows I think pretty much every day except for Thursdays and Saturdays. And I think the only two that aren't at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time are our Wednesday show at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and today's show, my show at 9 a.m. in the morning because this is our morning news recap show. Um, so please subscribe to Twitch. Use your Amazon Prime account. Connect it to your Twitch account. I think it's really easy. Um, do that, then you don't have to pay anything to subscribe. It helps support us, helps us keep everything going, and helps us keep pushing out all of our awesome content that we like doing. Um, yeah, and then keep checking out all of our other stuff. We're still over on YouTube. We're posting stuff over on YouTube. We're still 905 for Radio on YouTube, and that is still awesome. Um, yeah, we're still posting videos and all of that fun stuff over there. Um, Like I said, Twitch, we're still here at 905 for Radio on Twitch. Um, yeah, and then we're on all of our social media stuff. We're on Facebook and Instagram at 905 for Radio. Jason, who does all of our awesome social media stuff, uh, does an awesome job. He is fantastic. He keeps everything going. He has awesome memes and stuff on Facebook, so definitely go give it a check. Um, and stuff. He does a great job, and then please follow all these stuff because it helps keep you updated, helps keep me updated. So we don't like you guys know the schedule because I do believe that we have advertisements for all of our shows and stuff, and I'm sure there's um, we post stuff so you guys know when we go live and stuff on Twitch. Um, we are also on Twitter at 905R. We do post stuff over there too. Please go give that a check. It is awesome. We do post stuff over there too, and whatnot. And then what else? Oh, and then we have the website, nanafaithfulradio.com. Please go check out that website. Dylan is writing some awesome articles over there. He's doing a fantastic job. He's doing breakdown articles right now of each position group, and he's doing a killer job. So please, please keep that in mind. And yeah, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it for that. And then we have one more, our shop, nanofifradio.com/shop. Please go give this a check out. We are affiliated, so please, like, you get official NFL stuff with us, I believe. But we it's still the same exact stuff, and you don't get charged anymore, and it helps support us so we can keep stuff going, and that's a big thing for us. And yeah, we are having a new clothing line dropping soon. I believe the pre-order stuff goes live. Either it goes live July 30th, or that's when everything does officially go live. So yeah, definitely go and check all that fun stuff, awesome stuff out. And yeah, we do a lot of work to hopefully push all of this stuff out and keep everything organized for you guys. And we really do hope you guys are enjoying our change to Twitch. We've really been enjoying it. Our team has really done an incredible job working hard to keep all this stuff going. All of us stepping up and doing all of the shows and whatnot, and doing what we can. But yeah, definitely go scroll through the Twitch. We have all of our awesome shows. We have our main show, 905 Radio, with our main guy, 905 Faithful, and Jason. We have 905 Faithful doing a rewind show, which he goes back and looks at previous Niner games, and then he has a Faithful Talk where he talks to other Faithful and just talks about stuff like that. He has also new co-host who joined. I believe his name is, but definitely he just joined this week, so definitely go give them a look. Then we have Dylan, who does our primetime show at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Wednesdays. He does a killer job. Definitely go check that. Go check out the other shows. They do an incredible job. And keep up with the podcast feed. If you go to our website, 905radio.com, there we do have I do post the episodes up there too, but go and check your whatever listening app you use for podcasts. Look us up there because we do have all of our shows in. We do post a lot of podcast stuff too, so definitely go check all that stuff as that's your preferred medium of entertainment. Well, guys, I believe that is all of that stuff. Thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.
They are at the 44-yard line of the Chargers. Taylor out to the left side. And Ricky Waters to the right. And a play fake. Young goes deep. Oh, he's got Jerry Rice. Touchdown 49ers. First touchdown of the game. Comes after only a minute and 24 seconds. 44 yards. Touchdown pass to Rice. He sets another record. How can they leave Jerry on top like that? Rice split them both there in a 2-deep zone. And he gets behind both safeties.
You are now tuned in to the Morning Niner Empire, exclusively streamed at twitch.tv/905radio.